everyone. This is gonna be my first YouTube video and I am excited. Never done this, always wanted to do it, but I've never had like the encouragement, until one day, I was just like, fuck, who cares? No one's gonna encourage you. You just gotta do it yourself, you know what I mean? So I was actually gonna recreate the look that I did on my Instagram. However, I kind of feel a little peachy today. Already prepped my skin. I am gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera. I'll see you guys back in a second. Alright guys, hey, so I am back and I actually went with a little bit more of a natural brow just because I still wanted to be on the daytime look, and plus I'm only going to the store. Now we're going to actually start by primering our eyelids. I am using the NARS Smudge Proof primer. I like it because it's not pasty, it's a little bit more liquidy, which will hydrate your eyelid as well as just make it look a little bit more dewy, and it makes your makeup stay really good too. I use my ring finger to disperse it all over my eyelid. Make sure you hit all those corners just because we are going to go for a halo look, and I want to make sure that all my eyelid is very saturated just so everything can be nice and pretty. Make sure you do grab those little eye boogers because sometimes they do come in and it is so annoying, but just make sure you handle those. Now going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, getting a fluffy brush, we're going to go ahead and dust that all over just to set the primer, and also just because it also gives it a really nice perfect canvas to kind of just go in with your eyeshadows, makes it a little bit more smooth. Now going in with the Morphe palette 35N, getting a little bit more of a pinkish tone as my transition. We're just going to go ahead and apply it all over your crease. You can go a little bit upward just because that is our transition and we are going to be using that to blend. Make sure you just go all over the place. Now going in with the 35B Morphe palette, we're going to go with a little bit more of a peachier tone. This tone we're actually going to be using for our crease. However, I don't really have like an eyelid, so I have to kind of give myself the illusion of an eyelid. So what I'm actually going to do is place the product with a little bit more of a pointed brush, place it a little bit on top of my crease just so my eyelid could look a little bit more open and my eyes could look a little bit more open as well. Sometimes I do have to kind of like move my head around just to know where I'm placing it. I advise you to do the same thing. Always kind of like take steps back just so you can know exactly what kind of work you're doing. Also, you just want to make sure your placement is right because placement is very important when doing eye looks because they either make or break your eye. And of course, every eye is different, so sometimes you have to kind of alternate based on the eye you have. And we're actually going for a halo look, so just make sure you hit that inner corner as well. Just like we were doing the outer corner, go a little bit more in depth with those two corners and just a little bit blending on the crease, not so much. Go ahead and do that for the other eye as well. Alright, so now going in with a little bit more of a lighter shade, we're going to put that in our brow bone, and we're just going to go ahead and pack that in. Make sure we blend it to our transition line just so it can give you a little nice like ombre effect. You could even go back with the color you use on your transition line to reapply it, and make sure you really blend those edges so you don't have like a harsh edge. I personally like going a little bit more upward strokes just because it makes it look more blendable, and I also look back and make sure that both of my eyes are even. Now going in with the Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette, I'm actually going to go in with the color Paradox. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it will make everything look really pretty. You just want to go ahead and hit those inner and outer corners as well as your crease. If you want to make the color a little bit more vibrant, I do really recommend using a setting spray. I personally love the Ren anti-pollution mist. I use it to set my makeup, also just to add a little bit more of that vibrancy to my eyeshadows, especially like the glittery ones or shimmery ones. And then that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Go ahead and hit the inner corner and outer corner once again, just to give it a little bit more like that depth. Now I'm actually going to go in with foundation instead of concealer to use to cut my crease, just because foundation is a little bit more liquidy, so it gives me a little bit more control. And I'm just going to go based on my eyeball. So I'm going to measure my eyeball, and that's where I'm actually going to put the foundation, and that's where I want the lightness of my eye look to be, just because I want everything to be a little bit more centered, and I want my eye to be like the main attraction. I don't want it to be like too out or too in. I'm just doing little light strokes. Seriously, guys, take your time doing this process. It took me a long time to like kind of feel like I mastered it, but I still feel like I need a little bit more practice. Putting it in the back of your hand is always very helpful. So you just want to do light strokes. Take your time. You could even go back with the pointed brush that you use for your crease and go ahead and just blend it, just so it can look very seamless, very blendable, and you don't have like that big like harshness in it. That's kind of what you never want in your makeup, to have like harshness. Just want everything to look like smooth effortlessly. Now going ahead with the Urban Decay palette, going with the color Reflection, and it's a little bit more of a like peach tone, so I just want to go ahead and pat that in the center just to keep it in a family, like in the family color range, just because just the foundation by itself looked a little bit too like out there, so we just kind of want to bring it back. Also makes it look makes the look very soft. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to just go ahead back with that pointed, just smooth it out, smooth those edges out, make sure it's all really nice and blendable. Now I do want to add a little bit more of a contrast, so I am going to go with the Morphe palette 35N with a little bit more of an orange, like a bit more of a darker orange, and just pat that in the inner and in the outer corner, just because those are the two main things that I want to be very like darkish in my look. Now you just want to go ahead and clean any of that fallout out. Now I am going to go in with my Pro Concealer from LA Girl and going ahead and blending all my contour. I do want to apologize, guys. My foundation clip actually deleted on me when my sister called. Didn't know it was going to happen, but I promise you guys that I will go ahead and put in the description box what skin tint moisturizer I use, because I did say on my Instagram that I use a skin tint and I still got a full coverage, and it was actually the Rodial one. Now going in with the By Terry Tita Tan as my bronzing mist, I'm going to go ahead and spritz a little bit on my beauty blender. Make sure it's not really packed on good. It's just like you want one spritz because a little bit goes a long way. And then you just go ahead and place it where you want it. I kind of like put it on and then use the bottom of the beauty blender to kind of like buff it out and blend it on real good. Make sure that you're satisfied with the bronziness. If you want to go ahead and add more, feel free to do so. I'm a little bit going a little bit overboard just because I feel like the color shade of my skin tint is a little bit too light for me, just because I feel like I got a little bit dark during the summer. Now you want to go ahead with your blush, and for my blush I'm using the NARS Puerto Vallarta liquid stick, and you kind of just want to put it on the apple of your cheeks. You can even do that little funny face too, and then just go ahead and floop, put it on. Super easy, and that's it. That's the look. Just kidding. You go in with your beauty blender again and you go ahead and just like really tap it on. Make sure you blend it really nice and pretty. You want to make sure that like your bronzer, your blush and your highlight all blends at once, so it can look just super like natural. Go ahead and admire yourself too. It's okay to love yourself. Just go ahead and pat more and more. Now going in with the Kevin Kwan highlighter, I am going to put some on the back of my hand and work through it just because it can be very intense. And just place it on the top of my cheekbones, mixing it in with my bronzer and my blush. And I like to put it like really everywhere. I like to put it also like on my nose, on my forehead a little bit, just because I don't want it to just look very matte. I kind of want my whole skin to look dewy. Go ahead and embrace yourself again. Now you just want to go ahead and with the same brush used on your crease, you want to go ahead and grab the same color tone and just go ahead and hit that bottom lash, just because it's going to bring the eye look all more together. You're going to look very like, everything's going to look like harmonized. I don't know what other word to kind of like say it, but that's the word I thought about right now. Make sure you look back, you like how you look, go a little bit more smoky in the outer. Finish off by putting your favorite mascara. I'm currently using the Luna Aster one just because it gives me more length, since I am not putting falsies on because I'm just going to go to the store. Make sure you go ahead and coat those lashes, especially your bottom lashes as well, because they do create a big difference. I will not lie. If you feel like it's too clumpy, go ahead with a disposable clean mascara wand and just comb it through, just so you won't have any of like those clumps. Sometimes I get them, but I don't mind too much. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and fix my hair off camera and I shall be back. Alright guys, well I went ahead and did my lips, and what else did I do? Oh, I combed a little of my hair, and then for my lip I actually went with something like super like glossy, just because we still want to keep it on the daytime like natural. So I went in with the Chantecaille lip gloss in Charm, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. It does have like a really nice finish, and it is a little bit more like on the creamy pink peachy side, so it kind of like dilutes a little bit of like the color of my lip. And then it's not sticky, like I can talk. It does wear out throughout the day, of course, because it is a lip gloss. It's not like a freaking matte that's gonna like stay there. So guys, this is the finished look that I just created. We have our peachy eyes, we have our glossy lips. I really am really happy with it. Like the colors, it's exactly kind of like what I wanted, what I was going for. And this is how I am about my day. Be a mom like this, you know, looking all cute and shit. If you guys did like this video, just go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. See, I need to practice that. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. Comment like on my comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you guys want me to do another eye look. Well, thank you so much for watching. It's 1 p.m. and I'm drinking coffee. Let me do it again. What else I wanted to say? I don't know how to do the ending. I kind of don't want to leave, but this was really fun. It's so funny doing this.